From the ashes of humble beginnings, rise the sense of regeneration, signaling the dawn of a new age. The foundations of the old and antiquated, now demolished, and in its place the newly built pillars of fearlessness and opportunity. Dreams are clearer, expectations are set higher, and the quest for championship gold is even stronger than it's ever been before. At one time or another, everything goes through a period of evolution. The world of wrestling is no different. Welcome to a new age. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to a new FWE.
Gentlemen, and welcome to FWE's fourth iteration of Sunday Night at Springfield, as we welcome you here to what we call a glorified house show here. I'm Seth Cole alongside Jack Mitchell. And Jack, about a week ago, we didn't even know if we'd have a card, but man, is it packed.
Absolutely packed. And taking a look at this, it's the first of its kind matchup here in FWE. We're going to have an 8-4-1 match to determine the new number one contender for the United States Championship.
And how about this? Just coming up tonight, a rematch between yourself and Dr. Facilier, and you gotta think somewhere backstage, Disciples of Darkness might be looming.
Eyes are peeled wide on that, as is this. The fatal four-way match has been determined. We're gonna find out a new number one contender for the Tribe Wizard Championship when we're done with this fatal four-way here tonight.
How about this? Toxic Attraction. We saw Shigo pin Gamora this last Saturday night. Now they've got another shot at the tag team titles.
Ellie Williams and Jasmine are going to go one-on-one for the Iron Queen Championship. This is going to be a banger if anything with what we've seen with Ellie Williams as of late.
And a no-holds-barred match between Flynn Rider and Jason Voorhees. He's got to admire the courage, but maybe not the brains of Flynn Rider as he gets ready to take on a very dangerous individual who earlier on tonight attacked Carlos Zimmerman out in the parking lot. Carlos was fully intent on having an open challenge tonight for the Intercontinental Championship, but it looks like that will not be happening.
No, it does not. Obviously, I'm not really too certain what's the current situation with Carlos. He's been looked at by medical. I don't think he's been cleared to compete tonight, obviously. Otherwise, he'd be here in the building hosting his open challenge. But really curious as to why Jason would go after Carlos like this. Not really sure what the motive is there.
Whatever the motive may be, and who knows, with being Jason Voorhees, he may not need a motive whatsoever to inflict punishment, and he will look to add another victim to his list here, along with Aladdin, who's been put on the shelf, most recently now Carlos Zimmerman, Flynn Rider on his hit list, no holds barred.
Making his way to the ring, representing the Outsiders, from Camelot, weighing in at 229 pounds,
Remember, it was a couple of weeks ago we saw Jason Voorhees and Flynn Rider lock up in a last man standing match, and Flynn Rider could not get up before the referee's count of 10. You gotta think he's still feeling the effects of that matchup, and now enters into a matchup where basically anything goes.
Enters that matchup against a very, very dangerous Jason Voorhees. Again, we just documented his attack on the outside to Carlos Zimmerman, but we know how dangerous Jason is anyway. Landed attacks on both Aladdin and Flynn Rider.
Weighing in at 257 pounds,
Again, this all stems from a few weeks ago when Aladdin was getting ready for a one-on-one matchup with Mojo Jojo. Jason Voorhees would make his way through the crowd, attack Aladdin, and put him right here in front of us through our announce table, putting Aladdin on the shelf and pretty much igniting this rivalry between Flynn Rider and Jason Voorhees.
Again, we've said it before that we may not necessarily want to know what's going on inside the twisted mind of Voorhees, but like you said earlier, he might not necessarily need any motivation. This is just who he is.
No holds barred match is pretty self-explanatory. No countouts, no disqualifications, anything goes. But the pinfall submission do have to take place inside of the ring. So referee Ernest Wright's going to be more a spectator than anything if we end up having some extracurricular activity outside of the ropes. And while I mentioned about you kind of question the brains of Flynn Rider, could a no-holds-barred match where anything goes give Flynn Rider maybe some more options to potentially pick up what, let's be honest, statistically would be an upset victory over Jason?
I think that's exactly why he wanted this matchup. He thinks it levels the playing field. Yes, it definitely makes Jason Voorhees a bit more dangerous, but he's already dangerous as it stands. And he's thinking, if I can use weapons, if I can do anything without any kind of disqualifications or countouts, maybe I can get away with dishing out a bit more punishment. And who knows?
Saw Flynn Rider begging off there for a moment, and that maybe opened up the door for him to deliver a little bit of offense, but that spine buster is going to stop him in his tracks, and this is what Flynn has to avoid. He cannot allow the window to be open, the opportunity for Jason to be able to mount offense, because with Jason, there's no let up.
There is not. Already has him picked up, and he's going to guillotine him across the top rope there and going to quickly go into the cover. A bit of a lackadaisical one, and Flynn will kick out at one.
Again, we're going to try and hopefully get some kind of a medical update on Carlos Zimmerman. It's a shame, too, because Carlos has been a fighting champion ever since he ended up winning that Intercontinental title back from Dylan Poteet, and tonight was fully intending to show up, give an opportunity to somebody to fight for that title, and that's a title match off the card now.
It is, yeah, like you were talking about earlier, that we didn't really have much of a card until this past Saturday Night Smash episode yesterday was over and done with. Flynn tried to go for a submission there, but the referee called for a rope break. Interesting.
There you see Jason rolling to the outside, but in this type of a matchup, that's not a safety zone. Action can take place out here, and Flynn Rider had his hands on that sledgehammer that he got out from underneath the ring. Jason stopped him, but let's keep that in mind, that sledgehammer is still out there at someone's disposal.
Keeping that in mind, I'm also keeping in mind, I'm a little bit questionable of why there was a rope break called for just now. We're going to go to the cover again. Got it too.
Yeah, it is a good question there. With no holds barred, you would certainly think no disqualifications, no counters, there'd be no rope breaks as well. I'm almost wondering if maybe referee Ernest Wright forgot about the rules of a no holds barred match, just instinctually called for the break.
Kick out at one there by Flynn.
A couple of early covers here by Jason. I almost wonder, I don't know if he necessarily has a strategy, and I'm not going to try and ask him. Running power slam there. But I kind of feel like he could be testing the waters, seeing what kind of effects their last man standing matches had on Flynn Rider coming into this one.
Jason, I think, nearly got dropped on that sledgehammer.
That was close, very close to the head of that sledgehammer. That hockey mask, I don't think will be a whole heck of a lot of protection against steel.
I mean, it'll hurt less, but only a little bit less. I can't imagine, I would imagine that a goalie feels it when they take a puck to the face in hockey. I mean, that's part of it. Flynn just landed on the sledgehammer there.
Yeah, the lower back definitely made contact with that sledgehammer, and somehow it seems to have not had much effects on him, as now a table comes into play.
Tried to bury him into that table and then just got dropped on the back of it.
It's like water off a duck's back there for Jason. Hit with the table and absolutely zero effect. Little surprising to see Jason Voorhees put Flynn Rider back inside of the ring. I would have thought he'd feel more at home outside of the ring here. All of that weaponry at his disposal.
I feel like maybe he's just trying to put this matchup away quickly. That's why he got him back into the ring, because that's the only place where the submission or pinfall will has to take place. So I feel like maybe he has the mentality to get this over with as quickly as I can.
Flynn Rider, nice reversal there, digging deep, thinking of his tag team partner Aladdin, and he'll score with the running bulldog. Something else I've noticed interesting here is Flynn hits the springboard senton, as we've not seen Flynn Rider go for a cover, and I think a big reason for that is in a majority of the last man standing match, he dished out a lot of offense, but I think about the closest he got to a 10 count on Jason, who nearly just picked up the victory right there. I think the highest that a referee got was about either 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Flynn knows he has to deal a lot of punishment here if he's going to put Jason away.
Didn't really get as high of a count as he would like to in that matchup, so he's taking learning experience for that one as he hits a double meteora there from the middle rope. Has to do a lot to put a guy like Jason away.
Shot to the lower back, and now going to go back underneath the ring. Now a kendo stick in hand. And just going to start wailing away at Jason. Only one shot here, then goes into the cover. Is that going to be enough? And no, Jason out just before the referee's hand came down for 2. Referee said that was a 1 count.
Again, he doesn't get a 2 count, this Flynn. Still only a 1 count. Going to take a lot more than that to put him away. Oh, I think he got caught.
Caught in mid-air, delivered down via a power bomb, and now Jason goes in for the cover again, does not hook the leg. Flynn able to use that leverage to get out just before 3.
Might cost Jason in this matchup eventually, though. At some point, you got to hook the leg and make absolutely certain that he's not going to get back up. Well, the punishment might have been dished out, because I think during that last attack, Flynn landed on the kendo stick.
There's that spinebuster slam. We've seen him hit before. That could be enough to put Flynn Rider away, and Flynn able to slip out at 2, and look at the frustration there by Jason Voorhees. You can't see it facially, but you can certainly tell physically.
Oh no, Flynn is in a dangerous spot.
This is the power bomb that put him away for the 10 count last man standing match, but he had it scouted. Oh, gracious.
Oh, man.
Literally just threw him like a small child. Running back elbow in the corner. And it's going to get worse for Flynn as he's taken off the ropes.
Oh.
Hold on. That's Carlos Zimmerman's music. Remember, we mentioned he got attacked in the parking lot earlier on tonight.
Is he here?
Jason eyeing the rampway. Oh, he's in the ring!
Oh!
Beer by Zimmerman! Redemption for earlier on tonight! And Flynn Rider is crawling to the cover! No, he's crawling to the ropes to get back up to his feet! I'm not sure if Flynn even knows what happened, but he'll go for it! Is this gonna be enough to put Jason away with the assist? No!
Oh, that should have probably been the match, and I mean, we talked about it, there's no DQ in this match type.
Hold on! Smolder! Cover is in!
This has to be it.
Looking for redemption! Flynn Rider will pin Jason Voorhees, but give a major assist to the Intercontinental Champ!
Here is your winner,
That has got to feel good if you are Flynn Rider after everything that Jason has put both him and his tag team partner through in the last few weeks.
That probably felt really good for Carlos as well. Gets a little bit of redemption there tonight after interfering in that matchup.
Well, this past week in tag team action, Ellie Williams managed to pin the Iron Queen champion. The female fighting champion now gets a shot at that title.
The following champion versus champion contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's World Championship.
Listen to me. If I get in trouble down there, you make every shot count.
I got this.
You see Ellie Williams with the Hero of China Female Fighting Championship around her waist. Won it in the final of the trilogy between herself and Mulan, that ambulance match. And we also know, Jack, that at some point she's basically given her tag team partner to Catching Fireflies, Katniss Everdeen, a blank check anytime, anywhere, an opportunity to fight for that belt, since at the time Mulan was holding the title, Katniss did have a pinfall victory.
Yeah, we'll certainly have to keep our eyes open, see when Katniss will cash in on that and get that title opportunity. But a big chance here for LA to be holding two title belts here in FWE. It would be just the second time, I think, somebody has ever held two singles titles at the same time. Wonder what the first time would be.
No, you would be correct. The only other person to do it, of course, would be yourself, holding the Tri-Wizard and the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship at the same time. We have had a double champion of sorts on the women's side, but it was Nebula when she held the Female Fighting Championship and one half of the tag team titles. So you would be absolutely correct. It'd be the first time someone would hold two singles belts on the women's side. Well, back at Fantasia, Jasmine was able to win the finals against Elizabeth Swan to claim her first world championship, but it's been an interesting, I don't want to say change in attitude, but maybe just a different outlook on things by Jasmine in regards to the Disney Queens ever since she won that title.
Absolutely. I mean, we heard her in the middle of the ring this past Thursday talking with members of the Disney Queens and saying that she calls the shots now. And that's sort of the mentality that she's taken after winning that championship, because in the past, they were putting ultimatums on her. They were basically telling her that if you don't win titles such as the hardcore title or any other title that was available to her at the time, if she wasn't able to win anything, she would be removed from the faction. And now she holds that title belt, and she's the one that seems to want to be the one that makes the leadership decisions.
It would be her second title defense since winning the Iron Queen championship, and from what I understand backstage, there's been a lot of frustration out of Jasmine, who of course has to defend the title tonight because she ended up getting pinned that tag team match, and she puts quite a bit of the blame potentially on Mulan. There was a bit of friendly fire in that tag match, so we'll have to see what that does for the mentality of Jasmine coming into the night as we send things down to Mike Rome.
Introducing the challenger from Boston, Massachusetts, the female fighting champion, Ellie Williams. And her opponent from Babylon, the women's world champion, the Diamond Princess.
Of course, we ended up seeing, referring to that tag match this past Thursday night, Jasmine basically taking on the mantleship of leader. She ended up pretty much forcing Mulan out at the start, wanting to start the matchup, and I mentioned about that bit of friendly fire that took place as well that potentially, I'm not going to say it did, but potentially could have turned the tides out of favor of Jasmine and allowed Ellie to pin Jasmine. But I'll ask you, does Jasmine have any kind of vindication here in feeling that this title match is not her fault, and it's basically the fault of Mulan and that miscue?
You know, you would have to think that that's what Jasmine's mentality is, especially when you consider in the past what she's done to people like Autumn Brooks. You remember she was in that triple threat matchup where Autumn got pinned, so Jasmine lost the title because she wasn't even involved in that decision, and she took out her frustration on Autumn. I have a feeling like Jasmine sort of has that mentality that nothing else really seems to be her fault.
Something we do have to bear in mind in this matchup is one of the three women that Jasmine faced off against in that Iron Queen tournament that led up to Fantasia was Ellie Williams. She was able to defeat Ellie to move on to the PLE and fight for the belt. So maybe with that in the back of her mind, since these two have faced off against each other, maybe Jasmine going to be able to call back to that playbook. But on the flip side, since they've already faced off against each other, Ellie might have some new tricks up her sleeve.
She very well could. I mean, we use the word evolution quite a lot ever since we've entered this new era, and it's never too late to try to learn some new tricks and incorporate some new moves or styles into your playbook, and that can pay all sorts of dividends in the championship match.
Well, that high jumping knee forced Ellie to the outside. We need to remind everybody, champion's advantage in this matchup. Jasmine would retain the title on a count out or a disqualification victory, so may end up keeping as much of the action here on the outside as possible. Now Ellie, delivered right out here in front of us. I believe that she made contact with the side of our table.
Might have made some contact with those steel chairs ringside as well. Referee up to a count of 5.
Oh! And Ellie driven midsection first into our table and then a full Nelson suplex here on the outside.
Jasmine seems to be content with winning the match by count out.
Certainly looks like it here. Telling the referee to count faster. Ellie up to her feet at the referee's count of 8, and Jasmine, I think, thought this match was absolutely over, but now,
reversal.
Yeah, reversal by Ellie with a back body drop. I was gonna credit Jasmine for keeping the offense on, but now Ellie out with the coffin drop off the ropes, turns the tide of momentum, gonna shoot the half, go for the cover to be a double champion, the second ever Iron Queen champion, and a kick out at 1.
Jasmine told the referee to count faster, and he didn't even get in a 2 count after that, or a 9 count, I should say.
Double leg drop there by Ellie. Now gonna cinch in a submission here, knee in the lower back. Jasmine, nice slip out the back door to get out of that predicament.
And delivered a kick as well, so that submission was aimed at sort of the lower body, and Jasmine was still able to deliver some offense with the lower body.
Arm drag by Ellie, and now calling Jasmine to her feet.
Jasmine might be in a bad way right here in the middle of the ring.
Do an airplane spin here. Not sure what this will transition into. Looks like maybe a modified wasteland takedown, and that just fired Jasmine up.
It did, and now Ellie gonna be stuck in the corner.
Of course, Jasmine, a week after she ended up winning that Iron Queen title, successfully defended it against Moana. Her second title defense here since winning that belt. And of course, we've already documented a few weeks removed from Ellie involved in that ambulance match with Mulan. Neither individual could have been coming into this matchup at 100%. And we're starting to get into what we call those deep waters there, Jack, where you're going to have to really dig down deep.
Absolutely. You're going to have to find something, some kind of burst of energy here, because the further this matchup goes, the more exhausted you're going to be in it, the more likely that one big move is going to be all it takes.
High risk, high reward, high impact with that springboard moonsault by Jasmine.
A bit of a knee for good measure as well. This being one of 3 titles here on the line, the Iron Queen Championship. We've got the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship on the line later tonight, and then the Women's Disney Tag Team titles will be hanging in the balance as well.
Oh my!
Oh my!
That was a DDT, I believe, after flying from the top rope, and somehow Ellie's out at 1.
Being out at 1 this late after that big of a move, that's impressive from Ellie, but will she be able to capitalize? Got the reversal in, now what can she do?
Kick to the midsection by Jasmine, reversal by Ellie. Ellie might be looking maybe here, wrapping the arms, looking for a surprise roll up here. And Jasmine out at 1.
Big uppercut there. Jasmine smartly, though, rolls to the outside. Ellie, I think, tried to get some running offense there. Maybe a dive to the outside. Didn't connect, and neither did that kick.
Jasmine able to duck that. Went for a spear potentially to the outside. Ellie with a knee, back and forth between these two, reversal after reversal.
They are reading each other's playbooks, and now we've got a slugfest going on right in the middle of the ring.
Chops and right hands laying in, and this may be the portion of the match where that one big punch could turn the tide in favor of champion or challenger.
That's it, going back and forth between these two.
Oh! Massive uppercut by Ellie. And could this be the opening for Ellie to hit that one big move and claim the Iron Queen title?
Clothesline there.
Jasmine, you know that Ellie could at any moment hit you with the sinister spores. That's how she pinned Jasmine this past Thursday night in that tag match. Oh, never mind! Ellie to belly! Could this be it? Do we have a new Iron Queen champion? Jasmine barely slipped out.
Ellie can't believe it. Ellie is in shock. She thought she had the match won right there with that Ellie to belly.
And there's the sport. No, she blocked it! She blocked it! Jasmine blocked it! And hits the Raja's Revenge! Looking for the title retention! And Jasmine will pick up the win!
Wow.
Counter after counter in this matchup, and Jasmine's reign continues. And wait a minute.
No.
What? Why?
You've already done enough.
Why the steel chair? You've already won the match. You've already retained the title. And it's Ariel.
What?
Ariel out here to stop Jasmine.
What is going on here?
Ariel has called Jasmine's tactics into question these last couple of weeks, and now comes out here to the aid of Ellie against one of her own faction members.
That is certainly something that we're going to have to keep an eye on going forward. We could have some real dissension in the ranks between the members of the Disney Queens.
Well, up next, we're going to determine a #1 contender for the Tri-Wizard Championship. These 4 individuals won their qualifying matches. They now get ready for an elimination-style fatal 4-way to get a shot at the title at Infinity War Games.
Making his way to the ring, Texas, weighing in at 235 pounds.
Well, you know what they say, last man out, first man in. Carson was the last individual to qualify for this fatal 4-way this past Thursday night, defeating Kyle Matthews. First one down here to the ring tonight, and a former Wayfinder Cruiser champion, multi-time holder of that title, but has never held a world championship. Could tonight be the night that Carson Gum carves a path towards a world title shot?
It could very well be. Carson certainly feels like this is his night. He's had a heck of a run when he held that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship, and now really thrust himself into the world title picture. And one thing to keep in mind, too, it is a little bit of a wait between now and Infinity War Games. We've still got the Kingdom Jewel PLE to come up a few weeks from now, but it is definitely still a huge opportunity for whoever wins this Fatal 4-Way.
Whoever does win this matchup, to your point, I think we'll definitely have eyes on Kingdom Jewel when William Turner will represent Thursday Night Throwdown in the champion versus champion matchup.
And his opponent, from parts unknown, weighing in at 100 pounds,
Well, it was back at Royal Brawl when Ernie the Keebler Elf won the Royal Rumble match that guaranteed him a shot at the Tri-Wizard Championship that was being held at the time by, let me think. Oh, it was you, Jack.
There you go.
Paramount. An opportunity here tonight for Ernie to have a second opportunity at that Tri-Wizard Championship.
This matchup, I think it's going to be a little bit spicy because Ernie and Robbie Gilpin are both involved in this one. And, you remember the feud that was going on between those two where Ernie was pulling off prank after prank and really ticked off Robbie to the point where they had to settle their feud in what I believe was a steel cage match. So there's definitely some bad blood between at least 2 of the members in this matchup here tonight.
It's interesting how everything seems to tie into each other because You know, we mentioned about Carson and his multiple times holding the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. One of his feuds involved Elmo, the individual that Ernie defeated 2 weeks ago to qualify into this Fatal 4-Way.
It's a small world here in FWE.
Ernie is certainly going to be the smaller individual of the 4 in this matchup, but when it comes to a Fatal 4-Way, a triple threat, or any type of multi-man match, I think we're too quick to count out the smaller guys, but they're able to be the sneakiest, and sometimes that's what you need.
It is.
The Islanders from Hawaii, weighing in at 383 pounds.
I mean, if you want proof, just go back and look at what happened during that Fatal 4-Way back at Fantasia, where we determined Cole Eastwood as the new Universal Heavyweight Champion. He was not the bigger man in that matchup. There were 2 much larger individuals that he had to take down, but they ended up sneaking away with the victory, and as did Peter Pan in that matchup as well. So you can never write out the little guy.
It's a great point, but the big man in this match is going to be the demigod Maui, who ended up this past Thursday night defeating Hades. I don't think we were all that disappointed about that.
No.
We'll be talking about that a little bit later on this evening, but you know, one of the incredible things here with all 4 of these individuals, granted, yes, Robbie Gilman and Ernie have had opportunities at the Tri-Wizard Championship, but all 4 individuals have never held a World Championship here in FWE.
From Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in at 206 pounds.
Robbie Gilman is looking to run it back with William Turner. He faced William at Fantasia for the Tri-Wizard Championship and came up short. He was able to defeat a returning RJ Bishop to qualify his way into this Fatal 4-Way, and you know, he's already got the motivation. He's already got the history with William Turner. If you are the champion, Turner, right now, is Robbie maybe the one individual you don't want to win this matchup because he's already got a little bit of an idea of what you're going to bring to the table?
I think that's a very good point. I feel like you might not necessarily want to have to go up against Robbie Gilman again, because you know that Robbie might have some new tricks up his sleeve this time around, and he might learn something or two if he wins this matchup as well.
Fatal 4-Way elimination style matchup, which means that we will have at least 3 pinfalls or submissions. The last man standing will face off against William Turner for the Tri-Wizard title at Infinity War Games. And Maui will start things off with Carson. To your point, that history between Robbie and Ernie, they went after each other immediately.
Carson going after Maui, which might not always be the greatest thing to do. Maui got distracted. Both other individuals in that matchup took advantage of that exchange.
You gotta wonder if maybe we'll see some type of alliances here to try and take down the bigger man in Maui, who is just cleaning house right now. A headbutt to Robbie Gilman. Got a vice grip of sorts here on Carson Gum. The bigger you are, the bigger the target seems to be.
Gonna try and go for a quick early elimination is Maui. Carson will kick out before 1 count.
No countouts, no disqualifications, and a Fatal 4-Way as well, but the pinfall submission do have to take place between the ropes. Is a big slam there by Maui. And we talk about conditioning all the time and the timing of matches in relation to future matches. Let's not forget that both Maui and Carson qualified into this Fatal 4-Way this past Thursday night. Robbie and Ernie, they had another week to be able to recover. Does that give them an advantage in this matchup?
Ever so slightly, but everybody still had to travel. Everybody still had to make the trip over here. But you know, at the end of the day, I feel like when you see gold on the line, or an opportunity at gold on the line, is hold that thought. Cover here, Ernie trying to eliminate Maui of all people, and Maui will kick out. I feel like when there's an opportunity at gold on the line, you see a chance like this. I feel like thoughts like that end up going to the wayside, but it is a factor.
Kendo stick has been introduced into the ring, a table there as well as, oh man, big super kick to the back by Robbie to Carson, and now Maui wielding a steel chair, caught Ernie flush, and look at this, Robbie says thank you very much, he'll go into the cover, and Ernie with a kick out at 1.
feel like that would have been almost poetic justice in a sense if Ernie was eliminated by a chair, and the person who used the chair isn't even the one who got the elimination.
And here's the thing, too. We saw there when Robbie went in for the cover, Maui did not break it up. That's because you're more than willing to allow somebody to eliminate your competition, do your dirty work for you. It's not a one fall to a finish.
Yeah, it gives you better odds as well if somebody else gets eliminated, so. I'm not going to see anybody rushing to break anything up as Robbie almost got tossed onto that chair. Maui shoots the half. Kick out at 1.
Carson and Ernie on the outside of the ring right now. Maui, went for a knee to the head and missed. Robbie able to duck out of the way, and he'll score the disaster kick.
I think Maui's knee hit the underside of the table, and then his head hit that steel chair. He'll still kick out at 1.
Whoa, Carson. I think Carson might have slipped off the top rope, and he got carried into a scoop slam of some kind there by Ernie. Ernie with a just see Ernie with the drop kick to Robbie, and Robbie just immediately like, okay, just laid in the rights.
This is where the matchup tends to get a little bit chaotic when everybody kind of converges in the same area of the ring.
Of course, for those that don't remember the rivalry between Ernie and Robbie, it revolved around pranks that Ernie was playing on Robbie, including dyed his hair blonde at one point, locked him in an elevator, stole his gym bag, and forced him to come out and wrestle in, what did I call it? Alice in Wonderland cosplay or something like that? I mean,
something like that.
It definitely fueled the fire of Robbie Gilvin and culminated, as you said, in that steel cage match.
Yeah, messing with his entrance music, I think, was another prank as well.
That's true.
Ernie would not slow down for quite some time. Robbie eventually made him pay and has another opportunity to do so here tonight. One thing I'm keeping my eye on as well is we got a lot of debris in the ring right now.
We do.
All those tables, all those chairs. Somebody's going to have a painful landing. Speaking of painful landing.
By Ernie to Carson. Not able to capitalize, though, as Robbie hits the pop-up forearm. Cover
right
here.
That pile. And he still kicks out of 1.
Carson now going for a cover on Maui, trying to eliminate the big man, a kick out at 1.
Was that a kick out, or was there an interference there? Was there a breakup?
Sure. Yeah, I'm almost wondering if Robbie, as he was hitting Ernie, he might have actually accidentally broken up that cover that Maui had.
Tends to happen in a matchup like this. Things get a little bit chaotic. Everybody's kind of converging in the same part of the ring. Oh boy.
Big fist by Maui to the midsection of Robbie, and then met with a table courtesy of Ernie, and now a gutbuster. Holy cow!
Distance on that drop kick from the top rope by Robbie. Another thing as well that I'm thinking about, it could be a factor in these matchups here tonight, is the crowd size as well. The Sunday night, formerly Saturday night at Springfield PLEs, or I guess glorified house shows, they haven't had this big of a venue before. Now we've got a full-size crowd, a full-size arena. Everybody's kind of, the pressure, it feels like it ramps up a lot more. It feels a bit more like a regular PLE.
It's a great point, but also, kind of to counter that, you also can feed off that larger crowd as well, and Robbie, whoa! Able to fight out of it! As I think Maui was looking to powerbomb him through the table, super kick scores, and then Ernie with a drop kick to Gilvin.
Ernie also was able to use the powder that he has on Carson Gum.
You're right, that residue all over Carson's face, trying to temporarily blind him.
Drag there by Ernie. I'm keeping my eyes on that table, though. Somebody almost went through it at least once. Oh, jeez.
Modified jawbreaker there, or code breaker for Robbie Gilvin, and then a little dueling of furniture there. Ernie wins out, goes for the cover and a kick out.
I can't believe Ernie and a kendo stick won out over Maui with a steel chair. A referee might not want to get between these two and the table.
Oh, Ernie's in a bad way. Oh, gosh! Oh, Carson with a cover here on Robbie. Robbie will kick out, look out.
Powerbomb on Robbie, and Robbie was able to kick out. Big boot there by Maui.
Well, big foot anyway.
Big foot, I guess, yeah.
That's the kick straight to the face there by Maui. Robbie and Ernie out here just barely in front of us, off to our side, as a matter of fact, as Maui with the throw into the corner. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Carson does not want to be there. Maui hits the Chi-Hoo! I can't go up that high as he does, but that might be it. No!
Oh! I don't know how Carson kicked out. He was busted open by one of those attacks in the corner.
Uh-oh. But it may not be over. Oh, no. Whoa! Reversal! Oh. Maui was going for the Demigod's hook, and Carson was able to reverse it. Carson's been busted open, and Robbie with a spear!
Huge spear on Ernie. Robbie trying to get the first elimination.
Oh!
Oh! I was ready to call it.
I was too! I think the referee was. I think he was surprised that Ernie kicked out.
Maui picked up those steel steps and was willing to use them as a weapon. That could have been nasty.
And Maui is now down. Robbie takes down Ernie with the kick. Now Carson Gum hoisting up Robbie with a fall-away slam.
It's been a while, and there hasn't been an elimination yet. In this
yeah,
matchup.
that's
I
amazing.
Feel like when we get the first one, they're gonna come in droves here.
Had a couple of really close near falls, but all four men are still in this. Carson tossed halfway across the ring. Look at the debris everywhere.
This matchup has
Broken
been a
tables,
war.
bent up chairs.
I mean, you might as well have called this matchup another one of those underground street fights, but with the ropes cover here, Ernie trying to eliminate Maui, kicked out at 1 after all that.
Oh, look out, ref. Robbie setting up for that lariat clothesline, and then a clothesline by Maui as well. Stereo clotheslines on two different people. Oh, nice takedown there by Carson. And again, folks, this is just for the opportunity to be the #1 contender for the Tri-Wizard title at Infinity War Games, as Carson with the cover on Robbie, who kicks out at 1.
Couple #1 contenders to be determined tonight. Of course, in our next matchup, we're going to have the first FWE version of an 8-4-1 match. That'll determine Matt McIntyre's new #1 contender for the United States Championship. That matchup will happen at Kingdom Jewel.
We'll be having Jack explain that to us here when that matchup comes around. I guarantee you it's not my bedtime. Look at Ernie!
Oh my!
Takes down Maui right out here in front of us. Robbie with a shot to the midsection on Carson after the Irish whipped up the ropes, and now Ernie has Robbie up. Oh! I believe that he just hit the golden batch. Can he eliminate Gilvin? And oh my goodness, how are these guys kicking out at 2?
I have no idea how we're this late in the matchup and nobody's been eliminated. You see all the debris in the middle of the ring right now.
Oh, gracious. Unprotected headshot with that chair. That's got to be it for Robbie. Cover in here by Ernie to eliminate Robbie and bring down to 3. No!
What?
How?
Ernie can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Now Maui laying in the right hands. Oh, look out! Nearly threw Ernie right on top of those steel steps.
I don't think he completely missed. I don't think he got all of those steel steps, but I think he still got some of it.
Oh! And I was gonna say a double team there by Robbie and Carson, but Robbie just turned his attention to Carson with that drop kick into the cover, and Carson out at 2.
Unbelievable. Robbie looks exasperated at this point. He's thinking, all these guys are thinking, what do I have to do? Oh, Ernie with a meeting of the minds.
I think that would affect Carson maybe more than Maui. Maui with that Polynesian Islands background. They're known for having hard heads, but that super kick by Robbie takes down Maui, and Maui's eliminated.
We're talking about maybe targeting the big man, and ultimately, after all of that chaos, Maui was the first man to be sent home.
Oh, wait, hold on. Ernie's in trouble. Carson, F5. Looking to eliminate Ernie and bring it down to just 2. Ernie's gone.
Like I mentioned earlier, as soon as the first elimination came, the second one was rapidly after it.
So who is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Carson Gum to fight for the World Championship for the first time? Will Robbie get a chance to run it back with William Turner? One of these two men are going to Infinity War Games to fight for the Tri-Wizard title.
Just wailing away on Carson with that steel chair.
Carson's been busted open for a majority of this matchup as well. And now Robbie tuning up the band, looking for sweet chin music.
Night, night. Was he thinking about another one?
Oh, he's going for the exclamation point.
This would be it.
Scores it again.
Count to 20.
Cover is in. Robbie Gilvin, William Turner, they will run it back. Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's a good thing that title match is at Infinity War Games and not Crown Jewel, because Robbie's gonna need a lot of recovery time after that match.
That was a war. I can't remember the last time I've seen a fatal four-way like that, where there was so much debris littered all over the ring, all over the ringside as well. And this matchup might also be a war. We're gonna have our first ever 8-4-1 match coming up next. As you see all the men on screen involved, they're all gonna fight to determine the new #1 contender for the United States title.
Matt McIntyre currently in possession of that belt. He will have his eyes on this matchup for sure.
The following contest is an 8-man tag match. Introducing first, representing the Rockers from Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Anthony Mack.
One member of his team of 4, and we'll have you tell us about the rules of this matchup in a moment, but let's talk a little bit about Anthony and that barn-burning matchup he had against Spider-Man a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people looking at Anthony now as a singles competitor.
Absolutely, and I think that's what the intent was after seeing his tag team partner with the Rockers, Cole Eastwood, pick up the first ever Universal Heavyweight Championship. It felt like Anthony decided he needed to get a singles title of his own and be in the opportunity for one tonight.
This match will be in 2 parts. The first one, all about working together. Jack, run us through this.
Yeah, we'll have a 4-on-4 tag team matchup to start the matchup. It'll be under regular tag team rules, so you will see DQs or countouts. First team to get a pinfall or submission wins the phase. The losing team will be eliminated from the matchup, and then we'll transition into phase 2. The 4 members of the winning tag team from phase 1 will split up. We'll go into a fatal 4-way with no DQs, no countouts. First pinfall or submission from that point will win the matchup and become the new #1 contender for the United States title.
The ultimate epitome of frenemies. We're allies for now, but we're enemies later.
And that's something that's definitely going to be tested early on in this matchup. How can these teams work together? Can they push their differences aside because they've all got the same goal in mind?
Dr. Eggman, of course, a new arrival on the scene, was involved in the 2 nights of the FWE draft, a member of Saturday Night Smash.
And representing the agents from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 218 pounds, the American Dream, Sam Wilson.
Well, Sam Wilson looks like the United States Championship.
This is the guy who he said for quite some time he needs to have this title.
Yeah.
It feels like it's all too fitting, and this is going to be the first real opportunity for him to try to win it here tonight.
Big opportunity for him, but you look at so far who we've got for this first team, a member of the Avengers, a member of the Rockers, and then Dr. Eggman. I mean, there is absolutely nothing that you can glean from past history, from background, that you can look at these 3 individuals and say, yeah, they will mesh as a cohesive unit.
I think that's part of the chaos here in an 8-4-1 match. You kind of just got to work with who you got, regardless of whether they're past history, regardless of whether you're a friend or foe or anything like that. Everybody's got to try and find a way to work through that and at least be on the same page for the opening portion of the matchup.
And representing the
team known as the Hurt Business, along with the Easter Bunny. Another thing that I'm looking at here so far, Jack, is of these 4 members, at least on this team, none of these 4 have ever in their career fought for the United States Championship. Much like we ended up talking about in that previous Fatal 4-Way, where none of those individuals had ever held a world title. Whoever ends up winning here of this team, if this team ends up winning the matchup, it'd be the first time that they've ever fought for a mid-card title.
Big opportunity for them then. They're going to have to, I talked about trying to put differences aside. Maybe that could be a motivation as to why they are determined to try to win this matchup, because some people have never had the chance to have gold around their waist before, at least singles gold.
Well, I can tell you, if Santa's team doesn't win, Anthony, Dr. Eggman, and Sam Wilson are probably going on the naughty list.
I feel like Dr. Eggman would be on there already.
You're probably right. Talk about the momentum that Anthony McCurley currently has. How about Peter Pan? You already alluded to it a little bit earlier on tonight, was involved in that Fatal 4-Way back at Fantasia to become the inaugural Universal Heavyweight Champion. But just the fact that he was able to make it into that match through his Fatal 4-Way qualifying match was incredible in and of itself.
It was, and he almost snuck away with the victory as well. He came awfully close at one point during the matchup, so he probably feels like maybe a little bit of redemption is possible here tonight.
Representing the corporation from the 70s, weighing in at 185 pounds,
Shaggy going to be the first individual so far in this matchup that has formally come in holding a singles title. A former Tri-Wizard champion, of course, as well, was involved in the finals in the Guardians of the Ring tournament and had an opportunity to fight for the belt against Michael Norman when the title was vacant at Guardians of the Ring.
Yeah, that title matchup ended up taking place at Combat Evolved, where Shaggy took on Michael. Came up just short, still desperate to try to keep momentum on his side, so a win here tonight would certainly go a long ways towards keeping that momentum in his favor.
You're clutching at straws to find some possibility where there could be some team chemistry. I mean, Peter Pan and Shaggy are wearing the same color.
Yeah, that helps. Eggman and Santa wear red.
And from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 300 pounds, Hunter K.
Well, very interesting that we're going to have Anthony McCurry and Craven on opposite sides of the ring here tonight, because remember that matchup between Anthony and Spider-Man, when it concluded, Craven came out on the stage and Anthony was a little perplexed as to why Craven was out there. Now we may end up, I don't know if Anthony will get a little bit more information if these two square up inside of the ring, but there's definitely some question marks around this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure whether or not he was out there for Craven or for Anthony, or if he was out there for Spider-Man, because
yeah.
Spider-Man did pin him in his first win in FWE and only his second matchup, so I have to wonder, the past history between them, maybe some answers to those questions will come our way in this matchup.
former Intercontinental Champion, will be the 8th and final participant in this 4-on-4 tag team matchup. You don't have to look far for some history in this one though, Jack, because the individual that just made his way down to ringside, Craven, suffered his first loss here in FWE to this man. Tonight, they have to team up.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see how those two will put their differences aside. Obviously, Craven was the one who wanted that matchup with Poteet, knowing Poteet's history with bigger men like Hades, who he took the Intercontinental Championship away from. Now they have to work together in this matchup, so we'll see how that chemistry will work in this match.
So looking at the field right now and the 4 individuals that will be on either side of the ring with their respective teams, if you are the United States Champion, Matt McIntyre, is there one team that you're maybe favoring over the other in terms of potential challenger?
I mean, one team certainly has some bigger men on it, but I mean, there are big guys on both teams right now, and I mean, to be completely honest with you, I feel like whatever team you're hoping wins kind of goes out the window once you see the match transition into a fatal 4-way. So have to just kind of see how it plays out, who matches up well with who. Is a big DDT there by Peter Pan to Anthony McCreary right off the rip.
Yeah, Peter going to start for his team, Anthony going to start for his team. Again, all 8 of these individuals have never in their career fought for the United States Championship. One of them will book a ticket for such a title match here. But this first matchup, as you alluded to earlier, it is a 4-on-4, 1 pinfall to a victory. The winning 4 then face off against each other later on. So the biggest thing right now is you got to put aside your differences, work towards the common goal, because if your team ends up suffering the pinfall or submission loss, you're immediately out.
And that can drive some anger. That can be a cause of anger.
Oh, yeah.
Among the members of the losing team as well. You know, you could, a lot of people, there could be some blame directed at you. Like, say that Dylan Poteet is the one that ends up getting pinned into this matchup. Maybe you see Craven get pissed off at him and ask for another matchup.
So Anthony make the tag there to Dr. Eggman. Obviously, 8 entirely different individuals, so 8 different egos as well. Could there even be some bad blood if you go over and tag somebody else instead of the guy that wanted to get tagged in?
Probably. You know, I think everybody would be ready, or has to be at least ready as they can be when a tag situation comes in. But at the end of the day, you know, yeah, somebody could be reaching out, somebody else could get tagged in, and there could be some anger that way.
What about frequent tags and trying to keep everybody fresh? Because, you know, obviously for 4 men, they're going to be taking part in a fatal 4-way here in a little bit. You certainly want to make sure that you're going into that fatal 4-way as fresh as you possibly can be.
Certainly, but that's, oh man,
gracious!
Big choke slam there by Eggman. But yeah, that's something else to keep in mind, is that on one hand, you would think in a tag team setting, the frequent tags would help you, but on the other hand, when everybody's got to get into the ring for a fatal 4-way, Poteet involuntarily gets thrown into the ring here.
Oh, and look at that, a blind tag there to Sam Wilson, who was paying attention to Peter Pan on the outside. Dr. Eggman tags him in.
A little bit of chaos when it comes to that. Dylan Poteet, I think, doesn't really quite know where he is right now, but he's got to realize, yeah, he's inside the ring. He's got to get back out before the referee counts 5. Yeah,
credit to Ernest right there, realizing that Dylan was kind of a little loopy, so not counting him out with a disqualification, because I think that we would end up having a lot of people angry, not at each other, but at the referee.
Yeah, I guess it's one thing when they're all mad at somebody on their own team, but when they're all mad at the referee, if you're Ernest Wright, just run. Entrance ramp is right there. I
mean, he's already taken quite a number of bumps here in the last few months. I don't think he wants to take one that's actually meant for him. It's like Shaggy was wanting to go for some type of move, but that's another thing about this type of a matchup. A lot of your options are limited because of the number of individuals that are standing on the outside of the ring. You might want to go up to the top rope. You might want to use the top rope for a springboard move of some kind. That space may be not necessarily available to you.
Also, as well, as some tags are made, so it's going to be Anthony against Dylan Poteet here. You know, you're consider the fact as well that there's going to be a lot of people that are standing on the apron that might rush into the ring to try to break up a pin or submission.
Yeah.
See that happen all the time in regular tag team matchups, and in a 4-on-4 setting, You can see that a lot more frequently as Dylan's in a world of trouble right there.
Running power slam by former tag team champion Anthony McCrory. Now discus forearm. Gonna take Dylan down. Dylan still looks like he might be suffering the effects of that preemptive attack by Dr. Eggman. In a world of trouble, but now fights out of the powerbomb position.
The Irish whip, the drop kick will daze Anthony McCrory against that top rope.
Again, winners of this tag match, their job is only half done as a nice drop kick there by Poti to a kip up. Winners of this match will take part in a fatal four-way immediately following this matchup as Anthony gonna try and get a quick pin here, roll up on Poti. Oh, and almost stole one for his team.
Poti was awfully close to the ropes, and he still is for this submission. You see he has a free hand. He could grab that bottom at any time. But Craven will get into the ring and break it up.
Had the Kimura locked in there on Poteet. Craven keeping the hopes alive, and now Anthony has Poteet set up in the... Oh, he hits the spear!
Sawed him in half.
And now gonna go into the cover again, and to your point, in comes Peter Pan to break it up.
Immediately shuts that attempt down. Has to vacate the ring. That gives Anthony space to hit that elbow drop, and Dylan Poti needs a tag in the worst way.
Desperately, here comes Dr. Eggman in off the tag, and smart there by Poti to roll to the outside, buy himself a little bit of time here, create some separation. Oh, look out!
Oh, look out.
Ernest Wright.
There's
Some
the
contact from
unintentional ref
Poti.
bump.
Yep. Oh, big slam down on Poti. Making sure that arm's away from the rope. The cover here by Dr. Eggman, and
Wow.
that's going to do it! You talked about needing to make that tag. Poti never did.
A little confusing there as Dr. Eggman immediately picks up the winning pin, and celebrate for now, but everybody's got to get ready because we got a fatal four-way coming up in just a moment here. Phase 2 of this matchup going to be incoming shortly.
So there you go, McCrory, Dr. Eggman, Santa Claus, Sam Wilson, fatal four-way coming up right after this quick break.
You certainly gave me a lot to think about, Ellie. You know, I knew that one day I'd get another chance at the Female Fighting Championship. But I never planned for it to be against my best friend. I keep playing your underground match over and over in my mind, and I'm reminded of the range of emotions I felt as I watched on. Fear for your safety, admiration for your courage, and maybe a little jealousy that I wasn't a part of it. The both of us completely define what it means to be a survivor. We've cheated death so many times, done whatever it takes to win, and perhaps, if not for our friendship, would have no conscience at all. So if this is to be a match between friends, let it be one. That will battle test our strength, our endurance, and our wills. Underground match, Gotham Rules match, Falls Count Anywhere match. Let's combine them all into the ultimate showdown. A Hunger Games Survivor match. And the title, if I win it, fine. But the true reward for me is that hopefully when that final bell sounds, I will still have the privilege to call you friend.
Well, we are back. Bell has sounded for this fatal four-way, but what an announcement there. The blank check has been filled in by Katniss Everdeen.
Can you help me pick up my jaw off the ground for a moment?
Only if you help me pick up mine.
This is going to be absolutely nuts. We got to cover right off the gate here in this matchup. I mean, that is going to be an absolutely crazy match coming up at Kingdom Jewel. Do not miss it.
Oh my goodness. Iron Man match, Gotham Rules, Underground, a combination of everything. The ultimate Survivor-type matchup between two women that tag together on a weekly basis.
That is going to be something.
We saw earlier on tonight, Ellie Williams unsuccessful in claiming the Iron Queen Championship against Jasmine. Has that date now at Crown Jewel against her tag team partner Katniss Everdeen. Hunger Games Survivor is here's the cover by Dr. Eggman on Santa Claus. These four were all allies just moments ago in a tag team match. Now only one of them can get a shot at the United States Championship.
We talked about earlier in the first phase of that 8-4-1 match about how egos might have to be put to the side for a moment. I almost kind of wonder what can happen on the losing side of that as well. A lot of people are probably not that pleased with Dylan Pottier that he never made any moves to try to get tagged out of a match, and he was eventually worn down and pinned pretty early on in that first phase.
Yeah, when you end up having everybody dependent on you like that type of a situation, you do not want to be the one that suffered the pinfall or the submission loss. So it will be interesting to see if there's any fallout from that with that losing team, as you alluded to. This fatal four-way, unlike the fatal four-way we had earlier, is not elimination style. First pinfall, first submission will win the matchup, so we will see a number of individuals clamoring to break up the pinfalls or submissions when they occur.
Big opportunity for everybody here in this matchup, as I think these two are trying to they're rolling through each other basically.
I think Santa's trying to figure out what in the world is going on here.
Just waiting for that exchange to end so he can break something up, I think. Now all the big shots coming in. Everybody's pretty tall in this matchup. There's nobody that really has a height advantage over anyone else here.
Well, if you're the United States champion, Matt McIntyre, you've at least eliminated half of your potential challengers after that tag match was concluded. Now you're looking on to see if it'll be McCrory, Wilson, Dr. Eggman, or Santa Claus that you'll face off against. DDT there by Anthony. Eggman's got Sam Wilson in his sights, and Anthony cut him off.
This is something else that I just thought of as well. If you're Matt McIntyre, you're watching this matchup, maybe you're keeping a close eye on Anthony McCrory. He used to be in the same faction as him with the family.
That's a great point.
We talk about all the time, Sam Wilson, he just got dropped to the ring mat. He looks like he at least deserves a shot at the U.S. title, but...
Oh, Kimura lock here by Anthony on Sam Wilson. Nobody close, and now Santa Claus gets in to break it up.
And Santa hasn't really had an
Look at
opportunity
this.
at singles gold either. Cover
Could he
here
steal
off of
something?
that.
Oh, no.
Of course, Dr. Eggman, completely new to FWE, hasn't really had title opportunities like this before. Look at the strength.
Gracious. And now, just a foot on the chest there, and Sam Wilson says, nah. Another Kimura lock here by Anthony. Sam's got to turn around. Sam Wilson's got to turn around. There's a submission going on here.
Got to run and try to break that up. Didn't connect with that kick. Could have been the end of the match right there.
Yeah, I think Anthony let the hold go, and that's fortunate because Sam Wilson, if he had not broken that up, Eggman might have tapped out.
Very well could have, and there's no rope breaks in a fatal four-way, so that proximity to the ropes there would not have mattered.
Still to come here tonight at Sunday night at Springfield. Hold on. Oh, Sam Wilson, he was in position. I think he was considering possibly going for that Falcon dive. Santa Claus cut him off, and look at this. Oh, I thought he had him.
He almost stole the matchup because right before that, he dodged a diving attack to the outside by Anthony. Anthony meant nothing but the floor.
So I was going to mention, still to come tonight, 2 more titles going to be on the line. My broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell runs it back, a title rematch with Dr. Basilia for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship, and then tonight's main event, Toxic Attraction get another shot at the Women's Disney Tag Team titles. They will take on Nebula and Gamora of the Daughters of Thanos.
Oh, look out.
Yikes.
Steel steps being used as a weapon ringside. This exchange, though. Oh, my.
Oh! And a Meteora on the inside of the ring by Santa takes down Anthony. What the heck?
Oh, man.
The Santa Splash! Is that enough? No! I don't know if that was a kick out by Anthony or if Eggman rolling in broke it up.
Maybe a little bit of both. I thought I saw Anthony get the shoulder up. Now has Santa in the corner. He's got to keep your eyes open in the back of your head, though, because behind you, be focused on something else. Sam Wilson was looking at Dr. Eggman. Anthony broke that attack up, though, now has a hold of Eggman.
Oh, just tosses him across the ring. Santa with a face buster on Sam Wilson, now stunned in the corner. Dr. Eggman down, Anthony wailing away at the back of Santa.
Golden opportunity here for Anthony. He has Eggman alone in the middle of the ring. Everybody else is distracted.
Powerbomb! And now Anthony's got the Kimura lock locked in again. Sam Wilson in. Oh, he went to break it up, but Eggman tapped out.
Here is your winner, Anthony.
If Dr. Eggman had held on for just maybe a second longer, Sam Wilson was there to break it up, but the tap out means that Anthony McCurry will get a shot at the United States Championship.
Get a shot at his former faction member as well. That'll be one matchup to keep an eye on, as is this, so I'm going to have to go ahead and get ready to head to the back here, Sub.
All right, well, as Jack gets ready to take on Dr. Facilier for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship, let's send it to Mike Rome.
Is scheduled for one fall and is for the Men's Cruiserweight Championship.
Jack looking to chase history here tonight. One of two individuals that have held the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship twice. The other is Carson Gum. No individual has ever held the belt 3 times. But I have the feeling, as you look into the eyes of Mitchell just above the mask, that history is the furthest thing from his mind. Tonight, he is looking for retribution. Nick Gunther and the Disciples of Darkness, since adding Dr. Facilier to their clan, have seemed to be targeting Jack Mitchell in recent weeks, ever since Fantasia. Go back to this past Saturday night, when Jack took on Hades in a one-on-one matchup and would defeat him. Gunther, Facilier, and Hades would all hit the ring and would begin a 3-on-1 beatdown. Mitchell, not sure what Gunther's reasoning is for singling him out, but tonight, if Mitchell can take that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship back off of Dr. Facilier, it could be the first step towards crumpling down the Disciples of Darkness. This will be the 3rd time that Mitchell and Facilier will face off. The first time it was an open challenge, non-title match that Facilier ended up winning, gained him the opportunity to fight for the title at Fantasia. The second time was at the PLE, where Facilier was able to walk out with the belt. Will Facilier be able to go 3-0, or can Mitchell claim the belt for a 3rd time in his career? Dr. Facilier, it was a triumphant return for him. It had been a long time since we had seen him on TV when he answered that open challenge. Now his first singles title in FWE, and a little surprised to see him coming out here by himself, but I don't buy that ploy for a minute. You go back to that match with Jack and Hades this past Saturday night. Hades came out alone, but we saw Nick Gunther make an emergence during that match. Do not think that the Disciples of Darkness backstage will not make any attempts, if it plays to their benefit, to potentially interfere in this matchup. If you're Jack, you gotta have your head on a swivel, especially with the fact you're coming into tonight not with the champion's advantage, but with the role of challenger. Let's take it down to ringside and Mike Rome.
Introducing the challenger. From Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, the one, Jack Mitchell! And his opponent, from New Orleans, Louisiana, weighing in at 163 pounds, the men's cruiserweight champion, Dr.
Facilia's reign so far has been 2 weeks in duration. Will it come to a crashing halt here tonight? As referee Ernest Wright will display the cruiserweight belt. The second of 3 titles on the line here tonight. The first was the Iron Queen Championship. Jasmine successfully defending against Ellie Williams. Still to come here tonight. Toxic Attraction taking on the Daughters of Thanos for the women's Disney Tag Team titles. We're going to start things up with a test of strength. A collar and elbow tie up in the center of the ring. Jack going to win that initial exchange. And then a straight right hand. Gotta think there's a lot of pent-up frustration here by Jack Mitchell, laying in those knees to Dr. Facilier. Can't let that cloud the judgment, at least at the moment, especially in the fact that there is a belt up for grabs. Nice suspended Meteora in the corner, and Mitchell out of the gate feeling it. Big kick to the side of the head, and now laying in the punches once again. Oh, look at this. Off the ropes, hits the drop kick. Great balance there by Mitchell. You got to think as well, not only is he fighting for history, not only is he fighting for some retribution, also maybe trying to not pull an offer here, as I think he might have been going for that running Canadian Destroyer. And Facilier was able to counter it, now into a roll-up here to pick up a quick victory in retention, and Mitchell out at 2. I mentioned that Facilier has 2 victories already over Mitchell. Jack does not want to make it 3. We talk about the word momentum here in FWA, and we don't just say that just to have something to say. Momentum is huge in this type of business. Oh, reversal there by Facilier, blocked the kick. Now has Jack perched up against that top turnbuckle. Oh, and delivers him shoulder first into that ring post. I believe that was the left shoulder. Jack delivers the Superman punch with the right, so I don't know if that takes that piece of offense out of play. I don't think it does. Facilier looking for any opportunity to expose maybe some body part to wear down the remainder of this matchup. Oh, gut right, or knee right to the gut there, right to the midsection. Mitchell down in a slump, and whoa, was going maybe for a neck breaker. Mitchell able to get out of harm's way, looking maybe, oh, I thought he was going for the cutter, but instead scores with a drop kick. Now gonna shoot the half. You see him make sure that that right arm is away from the ropes, and Facilier out at 1. And Dr. Facilier, as we found out, oh! Big drop kick there by Mitchell. Gonna take Facilier down. Now gonna get him away from the ropes. That gonna be enough to be able to get the title back. Oh, and a kick out at 2. This crowd here. Oh no! Are you kidding me? Of course! Who's surprised? It's certainly not me. Hades coming out here to ringside. Of course, still got to be feeling the effects of that spear that he took from Jack Mitchell just 24 hours ago. And Facilier into the bridge with the roll-up, trying to steal one here. And Mitchell will get out at 1. No physical interaction here by Hades, but certainly you got to think trying to continue to get into the head of Jack Mitchell. And now a big suplex there by Facilier, and all of a sudden the tides have turned in this matchup in favor of the champion, who scores an uppercut. Oh, and now Facilier in the corner. Oh, he's gonna score with a kick to the side of the head. The voodoo curse connects. Is that enough to put Mitchell away? No! Jack with enough fight in him to kick out at 2. Facilier cannot believe it. Now Jack propped up in the corner. Clothesline connects by Facilier. What is he thinking now? Shadow Man up on the top turnbuckle. Oh, a tomahawk chop. Oh, and Mitchell with enough wherewithal to fight out of it. What in the world? Oh, brings him down with a Hurricane Rana. He's got him rolled up. Oh, but now a reversal here by Facilier. And he gets a 2. Back and forth between these two. Wayfinder Cruiser Championship hanging in the balance. Mitchell trying to fight back after the interference here at ringside by Hades. Go behind, full Nelson suplex right onto the back of his head. But misses with the knee. Mitchell hits the cutter. Oh, now elbows to the midsection, fighting out. Irish whip into the corner. Mitchell looking for, well, I thought might be going for that corner Superman punch, but a high knee into the chest. And now just trying to choke the life out of Facilier. Gonna follow it up. No! Facilier out as he was going for the Meteora. Drake right hand. Oh, no. No. Oh, he's got him up in that vertebreaker position. Voodoo bomb! And he's not done. Facilier back into the corner, might be setting up for a second voodoo curse. Missed! Jack got out of the way! Came up empty! Now Irish whipped off the ropes. Swinging neck breaker connects. Mitchell continuing to fight, but currently on the ropes, both figuratively and literally. Facilier still in control. Another clothesline, this time to the back. And Facilier back up to the top. Oh, went for the elbow, and again, Mitchell able to get out of harm's way. Again, this is the 3rd time these two have met. Mitchell has read the playbook. He's seen the tape. He knows all Facilier's moves. He's been able to reverse quite a number of them. Oh, shoulder breaker in the center of the ring by Facilier, and now brings him up from a dead weight into a fisherman brainbuster. Cover is in by Facilier. And Dr. Facilier, off that move, will retain the title.
Here is your winner, and still Cruiserweight Champion, Dr.
Again, you gotta give credit to Dr. Facilier, but in hindsight, this match may have only gone half of its length if Hades had not interfered when Jack was on a roll. Up next, though, Jack will be joining me momentarily back here at the desk to call our main event, Toxic Attraction. Get to run it back again with the Daughters of Thanos for the Women's Disney Tag Team Championships.
The following contest is a tornado tag team match and is for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers, KP and Charlie.
just heard our ring announcer Mike Rome announce this matchup will be under tornado tag rules, and a man that may feel he's in a tornado right now might be my broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell. Just put the headset back on.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, Seth. I need help. I haven't been willing to admit something like that before, but these guys clearly can never do anything on their own. You saw the interference with Hades. I'm going to hear the talk a lot about being 0-3 against Brazilian, which is very frustrating as it is, but you see the interferences happening every single week with these guys. I can't do this alone anymore. I need help.
Well, I said it. I was not the least bit surprised we saw the interference. That's just been their MO, it seems. Whether it be Gunther and Hades or now this new edition of Dr. Facilier.
Yeah, it's for me, honestly, it's not even about the title anymore. I need to make some calls. I need to get some friends backstage.
And introducing the champions, the Women's Tag Team Champions, Kat Morgan and Kina, the Bad Girls.
Daughters of Thanos, 54 days into their second reign with the Women's Disney Tag Team Championships, running it back here with Toxic Attraction. In a sense, these teams are 1-1. It was a non-title no disqualification match that we saw Toxic Attraction pick up a victory. When we got to the Fantasia PLE, Daughters of Thanos retained the titles. Now we're running it back once again between these two teams, but tornado-style tag match. Does that favor one team over the other?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I feel like both of these teams have proven they have what it takes to participate in any kind of more hardcore style matchups, so we'll have to wait and see if they can adapt to the Tornado Tag Team stipulation.
Daughters of Thanos are one of 3 teams that have held those tag team title belts more than once. The other 2, Team Let It Go and the Disney Queens, Belle and Rapunzel. If Kim Possible and Shigo are able to win the titles tonight, they would join that list of women with their second reign with the tag team title belts. And remember, it was Shigo this past Saturday night, just 24 hours ago, that picked up a victory against Gamora, allowing them the opportunity to run this match back.
And you see the two of them locking up near the middle of the ring right away, and a roll up here. Nebula trying to win this matchup early, but Shigo will break it up before 1 count.
Tornado tag match, of course, means that there's no disqualifications, there's no countouts as well. First pinfall, first submission will either gain the tag team titles or retain the tag team titles here tonight. And we'd like to talk about statistics and trends during the course of the evening. Not in favor of the challengers. So far, 2 title matches, 2 retentions.
Oh, big jump there as a cover. Impossible was able to kick out at 1.
I think Ernest Wright's very thankful that Nebula got as much air on that crossbody as she did, because I think she would have come crashing down on him.
Actually, I remember seeing that before. Somebody has jumped over Ernest Wright in the past. Oh! I don't know what kind of move that was there by Nebula, but it was some sudden impact offense.
Oh, and now, working on that left leg of Kim Possible, you see Shigo and Gamora on the outside, and this is a usual tactic that we see in tornado-style tag rules, where usually they'll try and single out somebody, eliminate them out of the conversation, and then take advantage of a 2-on-1. Looks like Gamora trying to do that here with Shigo, allowing Nebula the opportunity to just focus on Kim inside the ring. Have to wonder about here as well, with the fact that Kim Possible and Shigo have a victory over the Daughters of Thanos and no disqualification rules. As here's a cover by Kim Possible on Nebula, and Gamora will break it up. Since there are no disqualifications in this matchup, is there something they could dial up from the previous bout to apply in this matchup?
Maybe. I mean, they certainly, you know, I feel like they're going to try and focus on each other a little bit more, especially now that Gamora knows the playbook a little bit more as well, now that they have that one-on-one matchup with Shigo. But it's going to be really difficult, especially when you've got whatever factors may come in from 2 additional members of this matchup. Look out here if you're Kim Possible.
Oh, boy. Oh, drop kick through the ropes takes Kim Possible down. You see Shigo still over there stunned. She ended up getting a major roundhouse kick to the back of the head, courtesy of Nebula. And now chair comes into play. We documented this brand new attitude by Toxic Attraction. We saw it on the second night of the FWE draft. Attacking Team Let It Go, running their way through the women's tag division, and now finding themselves once again in #1 contendership. But with this being the second time that they have an opportunity at the tag team title belts, if they don't win tonight, what does that do for their credibility?
I have no idea. You know, it kind of makes you wonder what their true motivation is if they can't get the tag team titles tonight. You would have to think they probably are not getting into the rematch until the titles change hands. Destroyer there by Kim Possible. Maybe more of a code red than Destroyer.
Kimura down. Shigo just took down Nebula, and now Toxic Attraction standing tall. Kimura deposited to the inside. This could be exactly what the challengers need. Nebula's down, not able to help her sister.
And now Kim Possible is going to make her way into the ring as well, so it's going to be 2-on-1. Cover here. Trying to steal the titles.
With that super kick to Gamora.
Oh, that was it.
Knockout blow with that super kick. And we've got new tag team champions. That was quick. That was aggressive. That was a statement.
Attitude seems to have paid dividends for Toxic Attraction. They're going to be taking on the belts.
Whoa, hold on!
Are you kidding?
Hold the phone!
Are they back?
It's been since Combat Evolved, the Lost Empire lockdown match. Disney Strong Style came out on the losing end, licking their wounds, recuperating, but they're back here tonight. Esmeralda in the center, Meg on the left, the hardcore champion Kita on the right.
And they could be making a statement. They're heading down to the ring with the current tag team champions inside the ring right now. I mean, you gotta assume what they're targeting here, right?
Kim Possible and Shigo have just left the ring. They're out here in front of us. Certainly along with us, gotta be wondering what Disney Strong Style is doing here now, tonight, at Sunday night at Springfield.
What a night it has been here at Sunday night at Springfield. And now Disney Strong Style are back.
Looking at Kim and Shigo, they're trying to figure this out. They have no clue what's happening.
They're just as confused as we are. But again, I would have to imagine.
Hold on, here we go!
Oh boy.
Oh, it's on! Kim Possible and Shigo, they're not gonna wait around. Go with a preemptive attack.
I was gonna say, they have to be thinking about the tag team titles.
No sooner do they win the belts, but potential challengers waiting in the wings in the form of Disney Strong Style making their return here tonight to FWE.
I can tell you this one thing for sure, it's that the Women's Disney Tag Team Championship picture just got a whole lot crazier.
Certainly did, folks. A week from tonight, we'll see you at Kingdom Jewel. The go-home shows Thursday and Saturday nights coming up. Thanks for joining us tonight at Sunday night at Springfield.
Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine, wait up. What happened out there?
What happened out there is that I won.
You know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what happened afterwards, the steel chair. That's not how we do things.
No, that's not how we used to do things.